Hello, good morning. Good morning, it's still morning, isn't it? Yes. Happy birthday and welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, because every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate life. What a wonderful time it is to be alive. Although I'm going to flip the camera around and just show you the weather that's going on at the moment here. Yeah, it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit rainy. Luckily all this rain has missed us completely, which is fantastic. It's also very windy, which is why I'm down here in amongst the trees. You probably will hear the wind in a minute, and then later on I'll show you the view from around the corner here. It's just quite impressive. Probably be quite windy when I do that though, so enjoy that. I've just had a really long conversation, a really nice conversation, a very good conversation with a guy called John, who just bumped into as I was walking through this park here. I can't remember how the conversation started actually, so I'll have to, when I have another conversation with him, we have to figure that out. But he asked me what I did, and I said I help people get off antidepressants, and John said that he was on antidepressants, and so we had a whole big conversation about mental health and where he was, where he came from, his background, how he's coping with it himself now. It's been absolutely fantastic and fascinating. I'm looking forward to having another conversation with him. So John, I'm going to hold you that coffee. I basically said to him, if you buy me a coffee, I'm quite happy to have another conversation. He said he didn't want to take up too much of my time. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Buy me a coffee and a cake. Let's have another conversation. It was useful to talk to somebody else who's been through it, is dealing with it, and he wants to help other people as well. So maybe when I'm starting to do workshops and things, I might get him along to do a talk, because yeah, he's very passionate about helping particularly young people to see that there is a way out of depression, and suicide is not the answer, because he said he tried it. He thought about doing it when he was younger, and he's now 60 something, 61 or something. He's got children, he's got a wife, he lives here in Ilfracombe, he's loving his life right now, still struggling with depression, but just can't believe that he wouldn't have had this amazing life if he decided to do the permanent solution to a temporary situation, permanent result to a temporary situation a few years ago. Wouldn't have been helpful. Hello viewer, by the way, thank you very much for popping on here. I'm going to say happy birthday to a few people before I get into the sort of main topic of the day. I'm going to say happy birthday to the people whose real birthdays it is today. Vaneese, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name, Kevin McConnell, Cecilia, Bex, Sonja, Nikki and Thomas. Hope you all have a lovely happy birthday today, and hope you have an amazing day. Right, we're going to start with the breathing exercise that I do every time when we do the breathing thing, because we're going to wish them a happy birthday. We're going to blow out the candles on their cakes. Why not? Why not do that? So what's the one thing you're going to get done today? John, are you going to do that washing up today? Okay, so here, blow out the candle. And then breathe in through your nose while you count to 5. Sorry. The reason you blow out the candle in the first place is to empty your lungs out. So you can see the second time that worked. Put that hand on your heart, and then the other hand, your left hand, light the candles on your birthday cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's why you're holding the breath. Okay, so you breathe in through your nose. Let's do it again. This is for John's benefit, really. So blow that candle, 5 in through your nose, hand on the heart, hold the breath, and then blow out the candles on the cake. And wish happy birthday to all those people and to yourself, because it is your birthday. It's the first day of the rest of your life too, so happy birthday to you. And make sure when you do that, you feel the breath on the end of each of your fingers, because what it's doing is taking everything out of your brain and taking it away from your negative thoughts inside your head. That's the idea of helping you get over the anxiety and the depression and so forth. It's also invoking the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming one. I mentioned that yesterday. I didn't finish that bit off when I was listening to it back. The fight or flight thing that we talk about, and freeze as well. Fight, flight or freeze thing that happens when we get panic, anxiety, when we're scared and so forth. That's our body's basically going into, right, I need to shut off some stuff, I need to work on this, I need to get into the point where I can fight or run away from this perceived threat. The trouble is, in this modern day and age, we find ourselves in this fight, flight or freeze situation far more often than we really should be. It's not what our bodies are designed for, and we need to. Happy birthday to you, Elise. There you go. Thank you very much indeed. I think, Elise, I said. Alice? I'm not sure, Alice. I think you friend requested me, haven't you, Alice? I must double check that one. But hello to you. It reduces when an antelope runs away from a lion, runs away from the lion, gets away from it, then goes back to its grazing. Its whole body goes straight back to relaxed, grazing, easy, relaxed system and so forth. And that's the parasympathetic system coming into play to bring your body back to the situation where it's digesting food. It's not a hyper aware, and it's all back down to calm, relaxed state again. So that's what you're doing, is you're putting a system into back into its parasympathetic nervous system, as opposed to the sympathetic one, which is like, I need to run, fight, got all this tension inside you. Breathing helps you to do that. Cool, right. That's the starting part. That's all a bit for John there. And you, Alice, as well. Nice, thank you for watching, by the way. So the topic of the day, your most important relationship in life, which I probably should start with. I'm not very good at doing that, doing the title at the beginning of mine. Is yourself, your relationship with yourself. That's the most important relationship in your life. Is your relationship with yourself. Now, I was listening to this morning the Esther Perel top 10 from Evan Carmichael. The link is in the notes below. And she was talking about relationships with other people, typically. And she was talking about, romantic relationships mostly, although there was a bit in there about business relationships as well. And as I was listening to her, I was thinking to myself, yeah, but all of these things are also true for yourself. It's well worth... I realise I'm wobbling the camera around, so sorry about that. There's nowhere to put it at the moment. I wonder if I can... No. So I did... Try something. Let's try something. No, can't do that. Okay. Yes, a relationship with yourself. So all these things that she was saying about how you can improve the relationship with your romantic partner or your business partner are also things that you can improve your relationship with yourself. So she was saying about gratitude, being grateful and saying thank you to your partner. Actually, it's a conversation John and I had as well about doing the washing up, hence why I mentioned that earlier on. And I was saying to him, if you want praise from your wife for having done the washing up when she comes home from work, then ask her to praise you for doing the washing up when she comes back from work. So hopefully, that's a thing, because a lot of time we don't thank people enough for the things that they do in our relationships, but we all criticize them plenty of times for the things that they don't do, or the things that they do wrong in the relationship. So there's a lot of criticism going on, but there's not enough thank you, well done. And I was saying to John that there's a really good book called Whale Done. Forget the animal rights part of it, but it's how they teach killer whales to do the jumping through hoops thing at SeaWorld or whatever it is in Florida, and doing all the tricks and stuff that they do at these events. And what they do is they reward good behaviour, they reward positive behaviour rather than punishing negative behaviour. So rather than punishing things that they do wrong, they give them a fish when they do the thing right, and they go, oh, so every time I do that I get a fish. Oh, great, I'll do that more often. And it's the same thing with our relationships and our relationships with ourselves. That if we recognise that we're rewarding ourselves for the little things that we do, and we celebrate the things that we do, then we tend to want to do them more often. We want to do the things more often if we're getting praised for them, if we're getting thanked for them. So I was having a conversation the other day with a guy about, and he was saying, well, these things are not achievements. These things are not fantastic. And I said, it doesn't matter. They are things that you did. It was a choice that you made to do this thing rather than this thing. This thing, right? Sorry, let's try and put it in the camera. It's a choice of doing this thing rather than this thing. And if this thing is a better thing than this thing, then you should reward yourself for making the choice to do the better thing. We talked a couple of days ago about going to the toilet in the toilet as opposed to going to the toilet in your bed. That's a pretty good choice. That's a pretty good decision. So we can celebrate that and go, oh, I did a good job there. Well done me for deciding to go to the toilet in the toilet. Fantastic. Well done you. So yeah, being grateful and thanking the people around you and in your relationships so that they feel worthy, they feel loved by your relationship. And then you can also do it yourself. You can feel worthy and you can feel loved by rewarding yourself and praising yourself for doing the things that you challenge yourself to do. And the other thing that also came out during the conversation I had with John was about how you feel about somebody else. So if you have these sort of preconceived ideas about what somebody's saying about you or how they act towards you, because they've done it a lot, they criticize you a lot, then you start seeing criticism in everything they say. So even if they're not criticizing you, think it's a criticism because you're so used to having criticism from them. Equally, if you feel like they're doing things for your well-being, if they're doing something that makes you feel loved, then everything you'll see will be like, oh, that's such a nice thing to say. Oh, that's such a... In fact, I've seen this a few times with people who've got dogs, particularly women dogs. I'm only noticing it probably because I'm a man and I'm looking for a relationship myself. But I'll see women saying, oh, isn't the dog so cute? Look, it licks my face. And you're like, right. And if that was your boyfriend licking your face, and it's like, oh, and also they're lying on the bed and the dog comes over and it's like, oh my God, he's so possessive. He just wants to hug me all the time. It's amazing. And I was like, yeah, but if you had a boyfriend who was licking your face and wanted to hug you all the time and wouldn't let you go and was moaning when you left the house and stuff, you get pretty annoyed with them. But of course, you're loving the dog. Oh, the dog's so cute, it's so lovely. But as soon as somebody else does it, you're like, that's not so good. So I often think to myself, I wonder if these women who talk about these dogs as if they're like, wouldn't it be amazing if I had a man that did this? Whether if the man was actually doing that, would they still be happy with it? I don't know. It's an interesting thought experiment. So anyway, so that was that. And then the only other thing that she thought, which was quite cool, and I just realised that there's a whole bunch of stuff missing from these notes I thought I made. I thought I made a lot more notes than this. Never mind. Here's what it is, I suppose. Maybe I delete. Oh, I don't know. Anyway. So what I was going to say is how I hear the words that you say are clouded by what I think your intention is, which is what I was saying before there. If I feel like you don't care, then I think that everything you say is quite cold now. And that comes from the previous interactions. So yes, I've already said that. That was the point I was saying. It's interesting. So yeah, so there was another thing I was going to say, which was basically about arguments. And I can't remember what the titles were, and I can't remember what the topics were, so it's going to be really annoying this. So I'll have to do another topic on this because I'm running out of time anyway. But it was basically around the things like there's only 3 reasons why people have arguments. It's about power and control. It's about being seen and intimacy. I can't remember what the 3 were. It's kind of annoying that I didn't write them down. This is why I write these things down. This is why I write these notes before I do these lives. Anyway, but it's in the video. So if you go and watch the Esther Perel video, which is linked below, then it's in there anyway. But she was basically saying, but it's all comes down to communication. Basically, what I was saying is it's communication. If you feel like the other person is trying to take control of you, or you're trying to take control of them, then you can have a conversation about that and decide, is that right? If you feel like you're not being seen, you're not being recognised, you're not feeling like the other person's recognising things that you do, like doing the washing up, for example, talk to them about it. Have a conversation and say, I feel like. Oh, that was the other thing that's really good, is feel like as well. Feel. A lot of people say like never and always. You never do the washing up. You always do. You always slam the door. I know. You always do this, and you will never do that. And then the other person can then come back with that, but there's this one example of when I didn't do that, or when I did do that, and that blows the whole argument out of the way. But it would be much better to say, I feel like you always do this. I feel like you never do this. And much better. I mean, it's like, okay, so your actions make me feel like this is what you always do. And then it takes away that, yeah, but I've got this one example that proves that that's not the case. And you can do that to yourself. I feel like I never go out for a run. I feel like I don't do any exercise. I feel I always do things wrong. I feel like I'm a failure. Yeah, but there's this one time when I wasn't. So that can prove to you, okay, so it's not always true. So maybe there is these times when I have these successes and I can do these things and it can be a successful and useful thing. So I was talking to John earlier about the hula hoop exercise I have. It's like, here's your comfort zone, take another hula hoop, put it down, have it cross over with the first hula hoop. So you can still stand in the old hula hoop, but you can put a foot into the new hula hoop and you can have a conversation about that. Sorry, are you sitting down? Yeah. No, walking through. And then you can stand in the other hula hoop and you can go, oh, this is a bit scary, and then you can go back to your other hula hoop and you go, fine. But now you've been in the first hula hoop, you now get an opportunity to go, oh, I know what that feels like now, so it's not quite so bad. So I can step in there again and go, oh, it's still scary, but I've been there before, so I kind of know what to expect. And but now I've been in there twice, so now the third time, this is easy now. Third time, brilliant. So this is now my new comfort zone. Right, I've run out of time for my 15 minutes. I just realised, oh my goodness gracious me. I wanted to show you this view and send you some love. So just turn the camera around. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at the sea over there. And you can see the wind and the waves. It's very exciting, isn't it? Look at that. Look at the view. And there's the sort of main beach in Ilfracombe. It's wild, isn't it? Anyway, that's all from me. Sending you all lots of love. Can I do the little thing? Maybe I can do it. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Sending you all love. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.